This video will show you how to replace both 6812B and 6813A miter gear kits on all styles of Dutton Lainson tongue jacks. We'll start with the 6812B kit, which is for marine jacks with a weight capacity of 1,000 pounds or less, manufactured after the 33rd week of 1997. And it contains the following parts: a lower miter gear, upper miter gear, iron bearing, handle bushing, roll pin, and a dowel pin. Start by removing the top cap from your jack with a flat blade screwdriver. Rotate the handle as far as a 3/16 inch diameter punch set on the roll pin will allow, then use it and a hammer to drive the roll pin completely out of the handle. Remove the handle from the jack, tapping it out with a hammer if needed. Next, use your fingers and a pair of needle nose pliers to remove the upper miter gear, handle bushing, lower miter gear, and the roll pin you just drove out. Turn the wheel at the bottom of your jack until the dowel pin is aligned with the small hole on the side of the jack. Then continue holding onto the wheel while you use the hole to remove the dowel pin. Slide the jack's inner tube out from inside the large tube. If you see 3 washers on top of the inner tube screw, remove them and set them aside. If they aren't there, they are stuck inside of the jack's outer tube, so use a table or other hard surface to get them out. Next, examine the iron bearing at the top of the outer tube. It is only necessary to replace this part if it's severely worn or has broken. If it has, take a hammer and knock it out. Then use your hammer and a 7/16 inch socket and short extension to pound in a new one. Next, use your punch or hand to completely crank out the inner tube screw. If necessary, scrub any rust accumulation off of the screw with a wire brush. Work automotive or marine grease into the entire thread, then turn the screw back into the nut. Reinstall the washers on top of it with a layer of grease in between each one, and also ensuring that the nylon washer is sandwiched by the hardened ones. Slide the inner tube all the way back inside of the outer one so the screw fits through its hole in the outer tube. Once again, use the small hole on the jack side to install a new dowel pin evenly centered through the screw. Fit the slot of a new lower miter gear over the dowel pin, then install a new handle bushing with its flat side facing down. Set a new upper miter gear next to the bushing, then slide the handle through the iron bearing and align its flat with the flat in the miter gear hole until the handle is all the way in place. Finally, pound a new roll pin evenly through the small hole on the handle. Work a fair amount of grease into both miter gears by cranking the handle. Then press the top cap firmly back in place. Now we'll go over the process for the 6813A kit, designed for DL Marine and Ag jacks with capacities between 1,250 and 2,000 pounds, and made after the 42nd week of 1996. This kit comes with an upper miter gear, lower miter gear, handle bushing, shaft bushing, flat washer, roll pin, and a dowel pin. After you remove the top cap, again angle the handle as much as your punch will let you, then knock out the roll pin as far as possible. Forcibly twist the handle until the roll pin actually breaks. Then use your punch to pound out the remaining piece in the same direction you were pounding before. Next, remove the jack's handle, both miter gears, and both pieces of the broken roll pin. Hold on to the wheel of your jack as you remove the dowel pin, the flat washer, and the handle bushing. If you have an older jack, you may see an iron bearing instead of the flat washer you just saw and the shaft bushing we will show you next. But we will replace that iron bearing with the new shaft bushing and new flat washer that are included in the kit. So, remove the inner tube from the outer and the shaft bushing from the screw, then unscrew it all the way. Brush off any rust accumulation, grease the entire screw, then turn the screw back into the nut. Repack grease into the ball bearing on top of the screw, reinstall it, then place a new shaft bushing on top of it, chamfer side up. Slide the inner tube all the way back up the outer tube, lay a new flat washer on top of the screw, then hold it in place with an evenly spaced dowel pin. Fit the slot of a new lower miter gear over the pin, then put a new handle bushing in its hole with its flat end facing down. Hold the upper miter gear against the bushing so its slot is facing up. Then slide the handle through everything. Line up the slot on the miter gear with the hole in the handle, then pound a new roll pin into it until it's flush with the gear. Apply grease to this area, then seal it all up with the top cap. Thanks for watching. Visit our YouTube channel for more instructional videos like this. And be sure to let us know if there is a repair or process you want to see covered in a future video.